Sometimes you'll have elements in your photograph. Maybe they're in the background or the foreground. They don't necessarily not belong in the photo, but they could distract from your subject. Here I have a photograph of a bee on a lavender flower. I can see some foreground element of some of the other flowers that were just in front of it, but I find that it really takes away from the actual subject, which is the bee. So I'm going to remove that using Luminar AI. But before I remove that foreground element, first I'm going to do a little bit of cropping. I really want the user's eye to be drawn to the bee in the photo, and right now there's a lot of empty space happening. So I'll begin by going up to Composition AI, and the very first thing I'm going to do is set the ratio. I'll click on the dropdown, and I'm going to crop this to a 4:5. Next, I'm going to rotate the crop so it's a vertical composition. So I'll click that little icon just to the right of the ratio dropdown. This cropped it perfectly right in the center, so I'll go ahead and collapse this tool. And now I'm ready to use the erase tool. So I'll access that erase tool, and when I hover over the image, I can see the brush. I'm going to go down to where I want to remove it. I'm going to play around with my brush size by using those left and right bracket keys. I think I might actually make it a little bit bigger. I usually like to keep the brush size to about the size of what I'm trying to erase. It just makes it a little bit easier to get a better brush stroke over that area. So I'm going to paint over that little purple splotch in the corner. And once I have that brushing all completed, I'll go back up to the erase tool and click erase. That did a pretty good job. For good measure, I'm going to add a few more enhancements just to make sure that this image looks great. I'll start by going down to Enhance AI, and I'll move that accent slider to the right while watching my image, and that really helps to bring out some of the color and the brightness in that photograph. And then lastly, I'm going to go into Creative and use the Mystical tool. I'll activate Mystical and increase the amount. I'm just watching my photo as I'm making the change, and I'll do a quick before and after toggle of that setting. And now I have a really beautiful, distraction-free photograph.